This is our third stay at Lake Conroe Thousand Trails. In this video, I'll show you both the good and the bad. Let's get to it. This is our campsite at Lake Conroe Thousand Trails. It's a 50 amp full hookup site. We paid the $3 upcharge for the 50 amp service. Lake Conroe Thousand Trails is a great way to bypass Houston, Texas on I-10. If you're coming through I-10, Melody and I take Texas Highway 105, which drops you right at the foot of Lake Conroe Thousand Trails. This is our third stay at Lake Conroe Thousand Trails since we've been Thousand Trails members. Let me show you around the park and show you why we like to stop here. This is the entrance to Lake Conroe Thousand Trails. They do have a gated entrance. If you're pulling in to check in, you're going to get in the right-hand lane here, park your RV, and the attendant will check you in. You're looking at the entrance station. They do sell ice there. As soon as you enter the property, on your right-hand side, this is the new campsites, the new camping section. I'll take you down there and show you both the pros and the cons just here in a minute. But right now, what I want to show you is this propane fill station. I knew they had it here, and in fact, Melody and I needed to fill our propane tanks at one of our 230 pounders. We were in West Texas boondocking for about 3 weeks. So I was in need of propane, and they had a sign saying they cannot sell propane at this time. There's the explanation why. So we went to Love's. So Love's is in Willis, Texas, just up the road, and they fixed us up with propane. So FYI, maybe the propane will be back in service when you visit, but currently the propane fill station is not in service here at Lake Conroe. Let me walk you down in the new campsites. There's some things down here I want to show you. So the plus to the new camping section is that these are concreted sites, 50 amp full hookup. That's site B1 you're looking at. When you first come into the new camping section, the B loop, these first few sites on the right hand side, they do have a slant on them, but you can get your rig level. These are some of the best sites in this section. I'll show you why here in a minute. But B1, B2, B3, that's B3 in the center of your screen there. Even B4, very doable sites. So you're looking at site B6. You see how steep that grade is? Yeah, I would not want that site. And a lot of these sites on the upper end, you're going to have that steep grade going up into your site. That's B10, same with B11. Many of the ones, once you get down this far on the right-hand side, they're just too steep. There are a few very nice pull-through sites. That's a pull-through right there, and that's B20, and it's right next to the restroom and shower house. So this is a look down B loop, looking back down toward the entrance to B loop. And what I'm about to tell you, you may want to pay close attention. This is the turn. That dead ends right up in there, and you can see that. That's evident. There is no signage that tells you what I'm about to tell you, unless you studied the map before you drove your rig back in here. Now you imagine pulling your fifth wheel back in here. Now you can go back out that way, and this makes a loop. Takes you back past the shower house out to where the entry gate is, where we entered. But if you turn this way, and it looks like it goes down here a little ways, if you take your rig down in here, off to your right, what are you going to find? A dead end with no turnaround. Oh, it gets better. You come down the street a little bit further, and off to your right, what do you find? Another dead-end street. And if you decided to take your fifth wheel, you saw those two dead-end streets, and you continue to drive down this road. What do you find? A dead end down here with no turnaround area. So it would be, yeah, that would be, I would have a few choice words to say if I had to back my fifth wheel back out of here. So the point I'm making is when you go down into the B loop, you want to either know where you're going. If you go down past this intersection that's in the center of your screen, if you're just driving through, because these are all first come first served sites, unless you own one of these seasonal sites. But if you're a Thousand Trails member, you're coming in to find your campsite because they're first come first served, you're going to want to drive in and drive right back out, because if you go the other direction right behind me, there's no place to turn around. And on your way back out in the B loop, you have some very doable sites. Again, these do have a pitch on them, but it would drain the water off. You can still get your rig level. And there's the new shower house. It's very nice in there. And this will take you back out to where the entrance station is. So the entrance station is back up that way. That was where we came out of the B loop. This will take you up to the rest of the RV camping up this way in the activities area with the pool and whatnot. But before we go up there, this is the reserve at Lake Conroe. Melody and I were here 2 years ago. They were building these homes. They're still building these homes. Let me take you back up in here. You see the folks on that side of the street, real nice looking houses, and what do they have to look into? This stuff. And you know, I don't know what they told them when they bought the homes, but I mean, 2 years is a long time to be still playing around with this piece of real estate. And they're still building and tearing up the place. So imagine purchasing a home like this and then have all this construction still going on with the noise that comes along with it. So on the plus side, the homes come clear down to the water. And I will say that the cellular service is a big plus. If you want, whether you're coming through just for a day or two, or whether you're going to spend a couple weeks or longer, you have good cell service where you can upload and download videos, do all the basic tasks you need to do on all three carriers, Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. But this is Lake Conroe and has a very nice walking trail. This is on the housing development side of the Thousand Trails property. You have to walk back through the development to get over to the RV side. There's a walking trail that goes around the lake. It is peaceful and it is pretty, and you have some beautiful sunsets over Lake Conroe here. Thousand Trails has its own marina boat dock right there in the center of your screen. It makes like a little island out there, and you can see some kayaks and some paddle boats that they have right by the swimming beach. So if you like to get your cup of coffee in the morning and just go for a leisurely walk where you have some serenity, this is a good little trail to go on right here. This is a look at as the Lake Conroe narrows down. The camping area is back up in there. And then you have a little dock in the center of your screen. And here on the preserve side of the Thousand Trails property, they even have a community fire pit right here by Lake Conroe. So that was the reserve at Lake Conroe. Now let me take you up the road and show you the common activity areas and pool. So this is the entrance to the activity center. It stays pretty busy in here. I'll show you a few photographs. We have a very nice office facility right in the center of your screen there. I will say the staff is friendly and they're very helpful here at Lake Conroe Thousand Trails. To the rear of the office, you can pick up your golf clubs right there in that rack. And then they have a very nice mini golf. And then just beyond the mini golf, there is a playground. You can see some kids playing in the kids' playground. And a little bit further off in the distance is the pool where we're going right now. So the sun can get pretty intense here in eastern Texas. So it's really nice that they have this shaded area adjacent to the pool. Here are the pool hours, Tuesday through Sunday. They do have a hot tub. It is functional. Tested it out the other day. The jets work, but there's not a lot of suds. It's just like a slow moving water. But it is a hot tub. This is the pool. And just beyond the pool, they have some covered seating areas, and I believe there is a fire pit as well. Let's go check that out. So very nice central facility they have here. There's a little pathway that takes you to the rear of this common area. And you can see there's a fire pit here. Gas operated fire pit. And then you have some shaded seating areas on both ends. So, very nice facilities, folks. So I've been to Encore parks where you could actually turn on the gas fire pit. There was a valve for you to turn on. I could not find a valve. That's an electric plug off to the left there. So I'm not sure what the deal is here. I couldn't find a place where you could turn the fire on. Maybe staff has to do it. That's a shame. In other parks, especially Encore parks in Arizona, we ran into a few places where you could sit outside in the evening when it was cool and have a gas operated fire. So that kind of bothered me with the fire pit and not being able to turn it on. I mean, a Monte Vista RV Resort, which is an Encore park under the Thousand Trails umbrella, we were able to use the gas fire pit there. That was just off the pool area, just like this one is. And so I couldn't find a place to turn the gas on, so I dropped in the office here. These folks have been real helpful, and the gentleman in there told me that he's been here over a year. He hasn't seen anybody use that gas fire pit, and he couldn't tell me how to turn it on. Said maybe maintenance has to turn it on. So, you know, if you're camping here and you want to get a drink and come out in the evening and have a gas-lit fire there by the pool, I guess that's that's not in the cards. That's a shame. Like I said, I'm showing you both the good and the bad. This is one of two laundry facilities here at Lake Conroe Thousand Trails. Melody did laundry this morning at the other laundry facility not too far from our campsite. I'm going to cut that video right now for you.
I'm in the laundry room today at Lake Conroe RV and Camping Resort in Willis, Texas. In this laundry room, you will find 20 washers and 20 dryers. And the cost to wash and dry is $1.75. Your washer's on the bottom, dryer is on the top. Forms of payment, you can use Visa, American Express, MasterCard, Discovered, or you can use the CSC Mobile Pay or the CSC card. They also accept quarters.
Right off of the pool area, they have a doggy park. And I have had Milo in here. He loves to play ball. And directly across from the mini golf, you're gonna find site G21. Some of these sites have a good amount of privacy. Got a good bit of space with that site, plus a little shade. Site G21, you may want to check that one out. That's a 50 amp full hookup site. Directly behind the pool, you'll find the second laundry facility that's in that green building there. That's where Melody did laundry this morning. Let's say you're coming in to Thousand Trails, Lake Conroe, and you're just going to spend the night. And you have a Class A and a towed or a fifth wheel or travel trailer, and you don't want to disconnect. I recommend that after you clear the gate, you come in front of the pool. You're going to see these cabins off to your right. When you see those cabins, you want to turn on this road in between the cabins, and that'll take you right back to the F area. See this F loop? And there are pull-through sites both off to your right and left coming down through here. If you don't see anything on your way down through, then you can come back up this way and see if anything meets your needs going back up this way. These are all pull-through 50 amp sites. I'm going to take you over to the F area and show you those sites right now. So those are the rows of cabins I talked to you about. You'd be coming from that direction. And if you come straight down the road, this is the F section. And here's a good example of a pull-through 50 amp full hookup site. Melody and I used one of these last year. We just stayed one night. There's your SOAR. This is site F57. Let's take a look at the electric hookup. There's your 50 amp power cord or power receptacle, and there's your water hookup right there. You also have cable. And there's another look back at site F57. A good example of one of the pull-through sites here in the F area. They have standard cabins strewn throughout Lake Conroe Thousand Trails. These cabins are located right off of the pool area. Nice looking cabins. There's just about any kind of store you would want. Not too far from Lake Conroe Thousand Trails. Conroe itself has a lot of shopping. They have a Sam's Club, a Super Walmart. There's a Costco in the town just south of Conroe, Texas. Willis has some nice shopping as well. They have a very nice Kroger's. People have all kinds of different reasons why you'd want to recreate here at Lake Conroe Thousand Trails. The cabin benefits are one, there's lots of cabins. Right now, I'm going to leave this standard cabin. You're looking at F61 right by the pool area. And I'm going to take you over to the getaway cabin area and give you a glimpse of what those cabins look like. There's Lake Conroe. And here is the getaway village. These are all getaway cabins. And Melody and I received, with our purchase of our Thousand Trails Adventure membership, we received 10 years of a week-long stay in a getaway cabin. We can trade those for cruises or condo rentals through Resort Parks International. So let me take you back and give you a little bit closer look at one of these cabins. Here's the fishing hole cabin. You have a pretty nice view of Lake Conroe from that cabin. And right off to my left is the Paris getaway cabin. And look at the deck set up on that. Melody and I have been in the inside of one of these getaway cabins at Circle M Campground in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Thousand Trails allowed us into the cabin area, and we give a complete tour of both the standard cabins and the getaway cabins at Circle M Campground. So if you want to know what one of these look like inside, that video will give you a pretty good indication of what you can expect. They're very nice inside, at least they were at Circle M Campground in Lancaster, PA. If you think you may be interested in a getaway cabin, check out our video on Circle M Campground in Lancaster, PA on our YouTube channel. I'll put a link at the end of this video. That's the getaway cabin in the center of your screen right there. And just up from the getaway cabin is my rig. It's our campsite. And this was open when we pulled in, so we snatched it up. First come, first serve. This is E61, site E61. It was early in the morning when I shot the video clip of my RV at the beginning of this video. You could probably hear the birds chirping, and they're still chirping. But this is our seating area. We're very pleased with our site. We spent 6 nights this visit, the Lake Conroe Thousand Trails. There's our campsite. So let me give you some final thoughts on Lake Conroe Thousand Trails. So I caught up with Melody and Milo back at the RV. And so the question arises, would we stay again at Thousand Trails Lake Conroe?
We would most definitely stay again at Thousand Trails Lake Conroe. The area has a lot to offer as far as restaurants and stores. Houston isn't that far away if you want to go visit Houston, but there's a lot to do here. But I do highly recommend going down to the lake at sunset. The views are just spectacular at sunset.
Want to know what we really think about Thousand Trails? Check out our 3-year membership review, link at the end of this video. I think I'm going to leave it here. I'll have the upload and download speeds for Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile in the written video description on YouTube. If you like these videos, like and subscribe, and I'll see you down the road.